but becoming blurred by so much said. I'm in too deep waters. I tread, can't catch my breath. A shadow chasing me, a game of hide and seek. If I'll never have a peace.
Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Deconversion Stories. And just so you guys know, right now there is also a fundraiser going on over on your Friendly Neighborhood Atheist channel for the Recovering from Religion Foundation, who, as you guys know, I always link in my description box below for anyone that is still having some, we'll say, post-traumatic stress disorders from leaving a belief system behind and some of the problems that come with that for some people. If you can, please get down there over to the YFNA channel where you can find the link to donate to the Recovering from Religion Foundation. And at some point tonight, I'll have one of the guys in the chat there drop the link there as well, so you can just grab it from here. But anyways, today we've got my friend Skylar Matt here with us tonight.
Hey, everybody.
Is going to be sharing his version of a deconversion story with us tonight. And a little bit of a heads up, I'm going to bounce out of here about somewhere around 22 or quarter to the hour, just to do my little part for that stream that's going on YFNA's channel for the Recovering from Religion things. But then I'll be back and we'll close out the show and we'll jump to an after party after the in-between show break. Anyways, welcome to the show, Skylar.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. And this is like, we finally got this thing going because we've had it scheduled.
Right. We had a couple mishaps and then here we are.
And
so glad to be here
tonight. So Skylar, take us back into the days when you were whatever form of a believer you were and how you eventually started realizing that something was wrong and you found your way out of there.
Well, I guess you could take it back to childhood. Mm-hmm. My first introduction to church was my grandmother sang in the choir at the local church down the road from our house. So we would always go. And it's not like anyone ever tried to push the stuff on me or, it was just a fun event to go to. But then my parents had me get involved with the neighbor kids, and their parents ran a Sunday school down the road from us in another church. So I went to that, and that was cool. They tried to instill the teachings on you and this, that, and the other. But I was just a kid having fun with other kids. I didn't think anything of it. So at the end of it every day, they'd sit us in this room and they'd be like, all right, so if you can recollect what we talked about today and the lessons, you get candy or you get a prize or whatever. And I was always like, what? I just thought it was a fun show you guys were putting on. So, they do little plays. They were like, have little biblical lessons, and then they sing the songs like they've got the whole world and stuff like that.
Right.
I just thought it was a good time. I didn't realize there was any seriousness about it.
Whoa.
Well, then I got older, and my parents, they were cool. Like my mom, she'll tell you she's like a super devout Christian. You got to love Jesus. Jesus this, I don't care about religion, but you got to love Jesus. I'm like, well, it's kind of part of a religion,
Really? Do I? Do I really have to?
Do I have to? Yeah. Oh, man, she's dead set on it. Always has been. Right. But so we'll break more into my my thinking years, my teen years. Freshman in high school, I was a very impressionable young kid, and I got involved with a youth group not too far from my house. A lot of like-minded kids like me were there. We were all into skateboarding and hardcore music and all these things, and they would allow us to kind of skate around and have fun. But then, it's music and Jesus time. You got to have the religious part of it.
Of course.
And one of our really good friends, his name was Justin, and he's one of the ones that got us going there. He was like really into it and just like, come on, guys. And he was like the coolest kid in school at the time. Like, we loved this kid. Everybody wanted to be his friend. We all wanted to be around him. Well, for some reason, just out of nowhere, he committed suicide.
Whoa. Really?
Yeah. It was devastating. I'm 14, going to turn 15 years old soon. And then like one of my best friends is just gone.
Holy shit, dude.
So like naturally, because he was so well liked at that youth group in church, we all congregated there and we all celebrated his life, but they just had to come in and talk about how what he did was wrong at the end of it. And I'm like, do you have to really bring that up right now? Right. And
I will
so
say
not
this,
too
though,
long. Yeah.
I do like the fact that instead of calling it a funeral nowadays, they call it a celebration of life. Because that really is more what it is.
Right.
But to do that at the end, that's just like, really? You need to do that?
They got to get their 2 cents in because it's in their church, right?
Yeah, fuck them.
That's shitty.
Yeah, that's my attitude about it. So weirdly enough, about 5 weeks later, another of our group ended his life. This was even more unexpected than this because this kid was on top of the world. It blew me away.
Wow. Did anyone see any of this coming with either of them, or?
No, it was a huge shock. Well, Brandon, he was kind of a wild card, so maybe somebody might have seen it coming if they hung around him a lot, but I don't know. But after this, again, we're having church meetings and going back to this youth group. And then one day there was a huge group there. We're all laughing, having a good time. And they get on stage and say, if you guys are here just because of Justin and Brandon, get out. And I'll tell you, about half that room got up and left, and we didn't think anything of it.
Wow.
So at that time, that's when I kind of started to rebel. I started getting into various different sorts of media like comedy and listening to people like George Carlin and Doug Stanhope and a couple other people and talk about their beliefs. And then Ricky Gervais, of course. And it kind of makes you think maybe there is a little more to this. Well, then we learn about biology and evolution in high school. And I'm like, hold on a minute.
Wait a minute. This makes way more sense.
It's like, right. And then he even says, like, I could get fired for telling you guys about this stuff, but we've kind of gotten agreement. That's why I had your parents sign a permission slip, this, that, and the other.
Right. You had to have a permission slip to learn this?
About evolution specifically. Right. Otherwise, you can go to the dunce room, I guess, if your parents were like, nope, that's Jesus this and Jesus only. So
I remember.
So I was
who didn't get that part of the class. Their parents opted out for them, and they didn't get to do it.
Right. It's kind of like when the class is like, there's going to be a PG-13 movie with suggestive situations. And then some of the parents are like, well, I don't know. We monitor every movie that Theodore watches. I don't know.
Mikey can't watch that. He's not ready.
I don't know if he can handle any swear words. Yeah. So about this time, this is when I really start rebelling and really thinking I have a mind of my own. And I'm like, fuck this God bullshit. I want no part of it. And then, of course, I tell my parents honestly, because I'm like, this is how I feel, and I present points to them, and they're just like, son, you break our hearts. You're breaking our hearts. Oh. We don't want that in our house. Like, just wouldn't have it. So yeah, it's always an argument anymore.
Did they kick you out or anything, or
not over that, but they did kick me out for stupid stuff over the years. We're cool now. We've developed a pretty good relationship. I mean, we run a store together, so we got to be tight,
what kind of store?
Fishing and tackle, and it's a repair shop for trolling motors. Yeah,
nice.
So
I like me some fishing.
If I have time, that's the irony of working in a place like that. We're always helping other guys get set up to where we don't have time to go ourselves.
Exactly.
Well, I tried ice fishing once, but it was a disaster.
Love it.
I cook in the ice.
Damn it, Neil! I knew something was coming. I just didn't know what it was.
Sorry, it's an old Canadian joke.
I like that. I can appreciate that.
In the fridge, like a little.
The ice box.
Neil just got a fishing line in a cooler.
You guys are great.
Ice fishing. I hate this.
I'm a fan. I had really good luck with it. It was like we're like an hour in, and there's already 14 bluegill we pull out of the pond. It was pretty cool.
That's all right.
Yeah, right. Of course, we got drunk and let the fish spoil and didn't have the fish fry, but we still had a good time.
Oh yeah, that's the whole point of ice fishing, in my opinion, is just getting together with some buds and drinking some beers and throwing a line.
Just having a couple cold beers and just pulling some fish out of there if you get lucky enough. Otherwise, just laughing and having a good time.
Exactly.
So then I was Mr. Atheist after this. I was so hard set on it, and then I got out of high school, started college, and then I got I don't know any other way to say it. I got brainwashed by Illuminati conspiracy videos.
Oh boy!
Like about the music industry. Well, dude, I'm an 18 going on 19-year-old kid. I was like, my mind was so impressionable, and I had so little world experience that I was like, yeah, because the words and the place and the symbol, it all makes sense. Yep, that's what it is now. Yeah. So I fell into that, and I was like, oh my God, I gotta find God. I gotta believe in God again. So I was like that for a couple years, and then I got hooked on drugs.
Why do you say it like that?
I don't know. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm goofy sometimes, man. I don't know. I'm out there.
Your delivery was fucking perfect. It's like
drugs. So, drugs. I always liked pot and like shrooms and stuff like that, and I was drinking, but then I popped some pills, and then I got introduced to heroin. Oh, and I got hooked on that for a while, and
marijuana is a gateway drug. No,
it's not. That's not true. I spent way more on heroin than I did weed. But I actually had a couple of overdoses to where.
Wow.
But you know what happened when I was dead? Or when I was legally dead? Blackness. There was nothing there. So I wake up. And in the middle of my drug addiction, I was like, I have got to get my life together. I can't shoot heroin anymore. And then somebody told me, it's a lot cheaper and way less hard to overdose on meth. So I got into using crystal for a while.
Oh, boy.
And that's when I kind of lost myself. I really lost my mind, my sense of self. I probably weighed 110 pounds by the end of it. Like I was a skeletal system. Just like running down the street. I think the longest I stayed up, I'm 5'10", 5'11".
Oh yeah.
I'm about 215 pounds now, but at that time, and this was about like 7 years ago or so. I've been clean for over 7 years now. Off that stuff, I still get stoned and whatnot. But
sure, marijuana is one thing, right? But
so I lost when I hit bottom, I'm walking around this shithole town called Martinsville, Indiana, and if you want to just paint a picture of the most disgusting, horror-ridden, redneck meth piece of shit town you've ever heard of, it's that. I'm walking around the streets of Martinsville, desperate. Got no place to go. I'm just trying to get a ride back home to my parents' house so I can tell them that I need help and got to go to rehab. And
sure,
I'm walking around and these people are like, "Get the fuck away from me!" Because I was up for like 10 days and looked like a freak. And I was like, "Please let me use your phone." They're like, "No, get the fuck away from me!" So I go to this random house, and this lady, she takes me in. She sits me down. She goes, "Do you smoke? You want a cigarette?" I'm like, "Okay, smoke a cigarette." "You want some coffee?" "Yeah." Breakfast. She feeds me. There's like 10 kids running around the living room. And they're like, Minecraft, dude, shit like that. And I'm just asking this lady, like, "Can I use your phone?" She lets me use her landline. I guess they didn't have cell phones. It was kind of a rednecky house. And then finally, I'm like, "Maybe a ride home." She goes, "I got to ask my husband." He wakes up, and I hear him scream. He's like, "Get that fucker out of my house. Get that fucking crackhead out of my house before I kill him." And I'm like, "Okay, I understand, man." I understood, dude. I was way overstepping already, like in my mind anyway.
So she invited you in, right? So.
She did. she did, but I mean, in his mind, he was just trying to protect all those kids and his family. That's what I thought.
So, like, if you don't get your loving that is a strange man on substances. Why do you have him here eating pancakes with the children? At least
she did that. Yeah. So I'm out and I'm wandering the streets again, just desperately, and I see this car pull up. It's that lady and her husband. They must have had a change of heart. They're like, son, we've been looking for you for about a half an hour. We're going to take you home.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
I get in the car and they start kind of ranting about Jesus a little bit. And they go, we used to be involved in what you're fucked up on now. And we've kind of had to change. That's why there's all those kids at our house. Like they're the neighborhood kids because their homes aren't so safe to go to right now.
Oh, wow.
I'm just like, it's pretty bad out there. So I go, and I'm still kind of a believer in the Christianity or some kind of deity or God. I go to this recovery center. It was called Freebirds Recovery Center in Terre Haute, Indiana, and it taught me a lot. Their requirements were curfew, got to be in by a certain time. If you don't have a job, you have to work around the grounds. Mm-hmm. And you're required to go to 2 meetings a day for your first 2 weeks. After that, it's optional. Well, I got to the point where I was chairing meetings because I like going there so much. I felt good. And then I eventually started, right. And then I eventually started thinking, because I was going to church with all kinds of people to like hang out and make friends. I'm just like, God, these people are fucking nuts. Like at this point, I'm like, these people are fucking crazy. Speaking in tongues, putting oil on my forehead and shit. Like, what's going on here? So then I start thinking, maybe Christco.
So then I'm on their head.
Holy oil, man. Christco.
So then I'm starting to think, maybe God's something else. Maybe it's not written in a book or any kind of spirit. What if it's just like a sense of good that's within us all? What if it's just like a nice little force of energy? So it's like maybe there's not some guy in the clouds watching over us, but maybe like there's something good within people that made that couple want to be like, maybe we should take this idiot kid home, Yeah. But then years of thinking, it was just people doing me a kindness because they saw it was the right thing to do. There's nothing special. Right. Just it is what it is. It was lending a helping hand to your fellow man, and you don't need a religion or some kind of God to do that. So after this, I'm mulling it over in my head with, I don't know. I'm an agnostic at this point in my early 20s. Mm-hmm. Well, then I have a conversation with Kyle. And he says one little thing to me that pretty much blew it all into proportion. And he goes, think about it like this. Think about the thousands of religions that you have in this world. Being a Christian, Catholic, or whatever you want to be, etc., you're still risking thousands of other hells. What's one more? If some deity out there is truly forgiving, he'll forgive me for my ignorance and let me in. Huh?
Yeah.
At a 0.01 chance of getting this right on the first try. Like, cut me some fucking slack.
It's like, I'm just a C student.
Right.
At best.
You grade on a curve.
They kind of changed things after 2007. I don't know if you're
not the Common Core.
Haven't you ever heard of no kid left behind?
My name is Kid.
So that was kind of a little shorter version of the story that I would have liked, but that's pretty much the high and low of it.
The nutshell. I want to know. There's a couple things I want to know.
And please fire away. Ask me anything you want. I I can answer any question you
How
give me.
big it? Never mind.
Small.
Don't answer.
Hang on, let me get my magnifying glass app.
Tweezers.
See if I can find it. You shine a little bit of light on there too.
It's cold.
All right, so
It's wintertime.
Shrinkage. So
she never heard of the shrinkage factor.
when you were like at the point where you were dropped into that couple's house there, and they brought you in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You had mentioned you were still kind of like, were you having issues or doubts at the time about the whole God thing because of your situation?
I honestly had no fucking idea. I just needed a miracle. I was like, God, somebody, random person, just help me out. And, I was kind of on this walk because I walked this town for 3 days, pretty much, tweaked the fuck out. And I was praying to something, I was like, please help me. Like, please just get me out of this. I'll never fuck up again. I was making promises with something that wasn't even there.
Right.
Well, maybe not. What if I was just making promises to myself?
Booyah,
that's exactly what you were doing.
Yeah, exactly.
You were God all along.
I like to say that. Like, it pisses people off, but like when they say that, like, I am God, but in a way, so are you. But
Well,
it's kind of like the balance of things: good and evil, devil, God, whatever you want to call it.
Well, if I'm God, then where the hell are my God powers?
You're not supposed to know about that.
You got to level up first. What level are you?
0, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, you're a noob, dude. You got to get your rank up, man.
You're a noob.
You got to get some PvP skills in there.
Have you considered using mods?
He's got a hack version of the life simulator.
He's like,
flying around.
This is way easier.
Neil's got moon jump.
Moon jump? I can't even moon walk, let alone moon jump.
Oh, dude, get yourself a nice linoleum floor.
Get the moon boots, man.
Nice wool socks.
I got moon boots when I was a kid.
I bet that was an interesting time. The age of moon boots.
So now that you're, and your folks, as you mentioned earlier, I'm pretty sure you mentioned this earlier, they know that you are a non-believer.
Yes.
Where were they though during the time of all the drug abuse and stuff like that?
They were trying to get me to come home, and I was running away from them. Actually.
Okay, I got you.
They were like looking for me. They wanted me to. I put them through a metaphorical hell.
Right.
Like, they wanted nothing more. They're like, just come home. We don't care how fucked up you are. We just want to help you. And I'm like, no. I just wanted to keep using. And then eventually like, I'm pretty sure I was about dead because I hadn't had a meal in a few days, and I'd been walking around awake for 10 days, running around acting like a fool. But and they blame themselves for it so much. I'm like, guys, that's not your fault. Like, they were not hard on me, except for do good in school and don't act like an idiot. That's about it.
Pretty good general rules, I suppose.
Right. They didn't push the religion shit on me, but if I said blasphemous stuff, they got very upset.
Really?
So, right. Well, all it was an argument, and that was it. Like, they didn't like fucking be like, you're grounded or anything like that. They're just like, we disagree, and brah.
Okay, so what about nowadays? Like, if you have conversations with your folks, do you guys ever bring up religion? Try to bring you back into the fold, so to speak?
My mom will every now and again. My dad, I don't think he's necessarily a believer either. He just has to like keep quiet to keep mom happy.
Exactly.
He and I have actually had a one-on-one about it in my older years. He's like, son, I think it's bullshit too. But you got to have hope in something. I'm like, well, just have hope.
You don't need that. Yeah, you don't need that for hope.
Right. I know. It's sometimes it's hard talking to somebody that's had that shit drilled into their heads for for drilling their head for years. Excuse me.
Well, many of us are born into that situation where it's part of the
vast majority.
Family, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right. The vast majority are indoctrinated from birth into some sort of belief system. And the funny thing is, the ironic thing is they all think that they're in the correct belief system. So
no matter what,
to me, it's just another big sign.
Right. That's another hole in the logic, or so-called logic anyway.
Exactly. If you could talk to your younger self now, like before all that stuff started happening, what kind of advice would you give yourself?
Don't listen to anybody except somebody that's trying to point you in the right direction and help you with a skill or something that's going to actually benefit you later. Yeah, whether it be playing the guitar, getting good at a game, or getting your dance moves down, getting your groove on, whatever, man. Like, seriously.
If popping and locking is your thing.
I wish I could go back, not to be that awkward age, but just to tell my younger self, fuck what everyone else has to say and think, just do your thing and relax a little bit. Because I was so easily swindled into dumb shit when I was a kid. Like, I was the clown.
Me too, man.
Like, oh man, I was like, they were like, Skylar, go up to that car and press your bare ass cheeks against the window. I was like, all right.
All right, sure.
Yeah.
How long do you think I should do that for? All right.
No,
all right.
I just did it. Couple smacks and then run off. It was a school parking lot, so I could have probably gotten a lot of trouble. Lucky I didn't.
Say hi to the brown eye.
No.
And then on a couple of lists.
Yeah. I didn't know anybody was in the parking lot. No. Oh God. No, and then we had shaving crew and water balloons, and they're like, throw one right at that chick, at this teacher. It was this teacher we all hated. It fucking hits her foot, and she just dead stares me. When we go back to school, she was the new vice principal.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah. Dun, so, dun. Although she didn't do anything for that incident, anytime I fucking like slipped funny, she was on it. Like, you heard those stilettos coming down the hallway. like it's fucking go time. Oh God.
Run!
Yeah. Except there was no running in the hall, so
no,
who cares? Run anyways.
That's another charge on top of that charge, man.
But just trying to think of anything else I could bring onto the table that kind of like
Phoebe
brought the awakening on.
So like, what was some of the stuff? Because I know you were talking like going into biology and stuff like that. But like, what was like some of the arguments that you kind of just heard when you were kind of teeter-tottering? And you're just like, now wait a fucking minute. Now
it wasn't so much as an argument as it was just information that was never presented to me before. And I mean, it's science. It made sense. It's not. Mm-hmm. Not real. It is recorded evidence that somebody found that was like, maybe this is where we come from. But then you have like 10,000 other people that are like, no, have you read this book?
You're talking about the Bible?
Or whatever the fuck they were into at the time. But yeah, probably the Bible for referring to where Charles Darwin was around. Yeah.
So Kyle says you're
referring to
never find this. So.
Huh?
Kyle says your mom will never find this.
No, she won't even look for it. Yeah. I mean, I told her what I was doing. Like, I'm going to go do an atheist show. She's like, well, this is what she says to me is like, if it's with my last breath, you will accept Jesus into your heart. I'm like, all right.
Look, Mom. All right. You know what?
If it suits you.
On her last breath, what you could do is say, for you, Mom, okay, and then just renounce it after she's gone.
Yeah. Or just nod my head like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Just cross your fingers.
Yeah, I mean,
behind the back, going for the hug.
It's a tough situation to be in, especially when you're about to lose someone like your parent or something like that. So
yeah,
and it's tough, especially when you know that that it would totally put them at ease if you were to come back into the fold, right?
I could just let them have that last few seconds.
Right. Sure, Mom.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all. And because they'll never know, right? So,
just yell psych right after.
Psych.
Now.
Not.
As if. Gotcha.
Yeah, thank you, son. Not happening, Mom. Not happening.
Just start brushing your teeth. Oh, just feel.
Do you accept Jesus? Uh-huh.
Why are you crying? Must be the Holy Spirit.
I can't believe we're discussing this right now.
That is fucking morbid, but
yeah,
I get off on dark comedy, so
there you go.
I like Skylar's brand of comedy. It's good for me.
Yeah. You gotta be a little gross with it.
The best thing about Christian threats is that they work only slightly better than Christian prayers.
What's even more fucked up is Christian punishment. Like way out there, right?
So lots of folks are popping into the chat now. Welcome everybody. Hi, Randolph B, Madam
hey,
Eric, Maya, Dave, everybody. Thanks for jumping in here. Quick reminder, very quickly now in a few minutes, I'm going to be bouncing out of here and jumping over to your friendly neighborhood atheist channel to do a quick little 15-minute thingy there for the Recovering from Religion Foundation. They're doing a fundraiser over there, and they're already almost up to like $5,000. And their goal is, of course, 10.
All right.
I donated 50, so if you could better that, then you're my favorite person. But anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing here in a couple of minutes. But Mikey's going to handle the show for the time that I'm gone. And because he's a very capable guy. And then,
all right.
I'll pop back in here for the ending, and then we'll take our little between show breaks and jump into the after party. So I'll let you guys know now if you want to be involved in that, just to get a message out to Mikey or myself if you want to be involved with Skylar and Mikey and myself for the after party. Anyways, guys, I do have to run over there real quick and do my 15-minute splurge over there. But Skylar, I will be back to give you a big virtual hug and thank you. So
yes, sir. We'll see you soon.
Hang tight, and I'll see you guys shortly.
All right, Neil.
How the hell do I get out of here now?
You have to hit leave studio.
Is that somewhere there? Do I? Where the hell's that?
Right down there.
Technology.
Oh, yes, right. Leave studio. Okay, guys. Stick around.
Never done it
more
before.
show, but I got to get back. I got to go and do my little bit for the Recovering from Religion Foundation. See you guys shortly.
All right, we'll see you.
All right. Finally, he's gone. Let's take
Gosh.
I know you guys. You guys know I've been waiting almost.
What a
2
great
years
guy
to just say that on the actual deconversion story. I need a cigarette. Oh, that was nice. That's my catchphrase. I say it every time somebody leaves in the after party. And I finally got Neil on the main one.
We can talk about him.
So I had a couple questions.
Sure, fire away, man.
Was there stuff like looking back on it, you're kind of like, damn, I was so Christianized, I missed out on going to do that, or going to concerts or bands that you had to rediscover
until I got older. In my early 10 years, it was all hardcore Christian rock, or screamo, or I listened to bands like Of Mice and Men and The Devil Wears Prada. They're like, we're trying to show the youth that we can be hardcore and still have the spirit. So I was into that for a while, and then I fucked with Under Oath a lot. But then I don't know, eventually my music taste just matured, and I got into darker, heavier things, started listening to rap, and I got into this rebellious stage to where I was anti-religion until my early college years, and then I got brainwashed by these like Illuminati conspiracy videos for a few weeks. But no,
Aaron
Aaron Gillespie,
the drummer singer for Under Oath or whatever, he had that like what was that?
The Almost was his other band. Yeah.
They came up to Chicago and played at the Riviera, and I'm telling you, it was them and the Used. They're like co-headlining.
Oh shit!
And they went up, and the set was The band was kind of They only had a couple of good songs, but then like he just started doing they're doing all the feedback shit, and Aaron starts like this fucking sermon.
Oh
he
Jesus!
Gets about
no pun intended.
he gets about 20 seconds into it, and you start hearing, ooh. Ooh. I was like, oh, I looked at my buddy. I'm like, you better fucking bail, man. The boo birds are flying. And he's like, all right, we love you. See you, good night. And then they like did like the Southern Weather or whatever they're singing.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
barely. I had a buddy that saw them, and they came on stage, and Aaron, I guess, was just completely trashed. Like, and this was years after their first music video came out for, I think it was Say It Sooner or whatever it was. Yeah, it was Say It Sooner. It was years after, and I guess he came out, he was like tons of overweight, had a beard, and he was like just visibly sloppy, drunk, and falling down on stage. Like, how are you going to be in a positive Christian band, and it looks like you've pretty much just like, this is bullshit. I hate myself. It's like,
I'm not saying I believe in prayer, but maybe you should try some prayer light, bro.
Yeah. It was just like
prayer's light.
Prayer's light. I like that. Yeah.
All the strength of regular prayer, but half the calories. It's always funny when I look back at like when I listen to like Christian music, like, and I'd love Of Mice and Men, Devil Wears Prada.
Oh yeah,
August Burns Red, hit
because they had rhythm and they good instrumentals and everything.
Yeah,
it's just the lyrics were kind of hokey. Yeah.
But then that's the beauty about Christian screamo music is you don't really fucking care what the lyrics are.
Oh no, you were just fucking going hard with it. Yeah.
None of them bitches
just wanted to mosh. You didn't care what they were saying. You're like, yeah, Jesus is the shit.
I want you to open this up like Jesus was.
Open this fucking pit up.
Oh, I love it. And sorry guys for the weird very niche. I understand that's a very niche segment of music, but it was a fun time to be around. I think all of them have stopped being Christian bands now, and they're just metal bands.
Yeah, they just pretty much turned into like prog metal bands, it seems like.
Yeah.
But I kind of lost my interest in them anyway, so I still don't mess with any of their new music either.
Man, I will throw on a Say This Sooner in a heartbeat with the windows down in the summer.
Oh, dude.
That motherfucker slaps.
Some good old Attack.
Oh my god.
Yeah, forgot about them boys, didn't you? Yeah.
303.
Oh my god. Well, they weren't really a Christian band, but that was like definitely part of that whole thing. Broken Side.
Oh no.
We were getting crunk, man.
As soon as we all figured out what beer was, that's when it was time to like fucking listen to like Attack and 303.
And then Attila came around. They were like, okay, maybe Satan's cooler.
We got better parties at the Satan. The Satan throws better parties.
It was like, god damn, those fucking Christians are weak.
So what about like extended family? Since you're sober now and like probably like trying to rebuild some connections and all that stuff, does your not believing kind of screw things up, or everyone's just happy to see you? Or
everybody is just cool with me. And my family has never really been too judgmental, except for like my distant family on my dad's side, which they're kind of like upper class, and they don't really mess with us too much anyway. So I don't really talk to them, and I can tell my my aunt kind of resents me a little bit on my dad's side. But as far as my mom's side go, like they're all cool with me. They're like, we're just glad you're here, Yeah. So I do face a little bit of conflict. Like my aunt will never say it, but I know, like, because of our empty fake conversations and the fact that she doesn't text back when I reach out to her. So I'm not even reaching out. It's like, I'm not asking her for a damn thing. I'm just like, hey, how you doing? She's like, I'm just like super busy. Talk to you later. Like, okay.
So now that you're in like a much better place and things are going better, like, is it easier to see now, like, kind of ways that, how am I trying to ask this? Can you see more of like the, some of the errors that people around you kind of made when you were like in that crisis mode, in that needing help mode? It's like, it's like, I remember that warning sign and that warning sign and that warning sign, but like no one was paying attention to this.
Right. Well, here's something that I learned, and it was like part of just being in a recovery program, was I specifically denounced those 12 steps because I saw that finding a higher power is just giving yourself an excuse to use again sometime down the road. It's clinging on to something. Oh, God's going to get me through this. No, you got to fucking get the fuck up and walk, man. God's not going to carry you. He's not even there. Like,
do not wait for him to answer.
That's what I was. Yeah, bro. He is like so bad about texting back. He'll leave you on red. Like, don't Facebook message him. It's just disappointing. But
God left me on red.
And so that's kind of like where. Yeah, exactly. That's going to be a good title for a book someday.
Oh, that's such a good T-shirt.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
I'm dead ass. Get that on.
That's awesome. He left me on red.
We'll put it in like the iPhone like text bubbles.
But that's where I came up with the thought. Just be your own higher power. Again, be your own God. And I guess you could like say you're getting into Satanism at that point, but I don't know. It's just figure your shit out and walk yourself through it. And if you have a hard time, try to talk to some like-minded individuals for some advice. 9 times out of 10, they might say something useful. Try to help you.
Yeah. And would you have any advice for like if someone feels like the friend's going down a path or things are about to get real shitty for them? What's a positive way for them to not miss the warning signs, and B, like what would you say is an effective way
to get somebody on track without giving them a line of bullshit?
Yeah, there you go.
You just gotta take them under your wing, explain things to them the best that you know without trying to how the kids say mansplain or whatever. Right. Just try to level with somebody and try to give them your own 2 cents in a way that is not pushy but still sends a message. That's that old saying, you can lead a horse to the water but it's going to drink on its own.
Right.
And that's another thing, like it's all about self-reflection. You should guide somebody with a bit of your advice, but you should also more so teach them to look within and just kind of like think to themselves, is this juice worth the squeeze in this next action I'm going to make? Do I really want to use this drug again? Do I really want to speed in my car again? Do I want to play a high stakes gambling game? Or, people do dumb shit all the time. Do I want to cliff dive in the dark for adrenaline rush? Yeah, don't do that. It's stupid.
Don't.
It'll probably hurt if you live. But
it's just deep enough to hurt. just deep enough to hurt.
That's good.
Like 11 and a half feet. So it was deep, but
Ooh.
not deep enough.
Just like make sure you're angled right, because if you hit that belly flop, it's gonna.
Well, that's cool.
Nothing worse than jumping in the water and the water claps your ass cheeks harder than it ever clapped before.
Just your whole side is just discolored and itchy. That's when you know you haven't done it right.
Never again will I jump straight back off of a houseboat on a dare. I will tell you that. Jesus Christ.
No, there's a story.
Notice how I take the Lord's name in vain a lot. I don't know. I guess it's like, that's the irony of like, my mom's just like, I'm a devout Christian lady, but she's always like, God damn it. Jesus Christ. God. Fuck.
Well, it's not her fault. It's a damn good phrase.
Right. I mean, it's been around for years. Us good living Christian folks love damning our God.
It's a classic.
Right.
You can't just throw out the classics just because Jesus
You got to get with the times. It might offend somebody.
Well, most people are pretty chill. But then there's
down to earth folks. If you're just a real chill thinking individual, like you can let some shit go. But there are really some people that a button gets pushed, they can't let it go. And that's what sucks too, is even though it may seem minuscule to you, you don't get to decide whether or not that person's allowed to be upset by your actions. You can just apologize and say, hey, I will try to work on it, you know?
Yeah. and it seems like you kind of had like your angry atheist face, which everyone kind of goes through.
I used to go into churches and specifically talk shit to people. Like I would take my at the time, what was it, a flip video camera, like the little square things. I don't know if you remember those. And I would go into church when they were doing the sermons and be like, he's lying to you. He's lying to you. Oh yeah, I had like some like cute girl and her like super buff boyfriend be like, I think it's time you go, buddy. And like all these old people like, you better get out of here, Buster. I'm just like, oh, kind of felt bad. Well then, I don't know if I should tell this other story because it's a little raunchy. I
mean, Neil's not here.
Well, I think I'm just going to go ahead and take a risk. And please, before I tell this story, laugh as you may, I look back on it and I feel incredibly bad.
Oh, boy.
I went into a church and I was going to do the whole, he's lying to you and screw with him. But I go in there and it's some preschool kid ceremony. And I'm just like, I'm not going to mess with these people. So I went. And, you know, my buddies were daring me to do shit, so I was like, I had to do something. I went out into the front of the church, and they had this little, like, closed-off brick area where the air conditioning units were.
Oh, no.
And I may or may not have allegedly defecated in the area. Because I was such a rebel. And this was like a decade ago. And looking back on it, I feel like the turd that I left there. I do feel pretty bad about it for whoever had to go out there and be like, this is a house of God.
Sweet Mary Magdalene. It's a turd.
It's a miracle.
Maybe they really wanted that. And you
no.
God spoke through you and answered their prayer.
Like, somebody give me a sign that what I'm doing here is meaningful.
God, if this is all fake, give me a sign. Literally, the shit hits the fan.
Well, how do we know if this is just a bunch of shit? Hey, you guys, I found some shit outside by the air conditioner.
Well, honey, we'll have to leave this church as soon as shit hits the fan. I'm sorry, what did you just find behind there?
No, not literally. Some guy's like, I'm going to get us out of here.
You might have deterred some people from staying in that church. It's like, I don't know, man. I just had this really shitty feeling about this church. And
like I said, laughing as we are, I felt and still do feel pretty bad about that. But
well, we have to laugh to keep from crying.
It is a little funny.
Is it mean? Yeah. Did they have it coming? Yeah.
Not really. They were kind of cool people. They always accepted me. Like when I was going there with my grandma and acting like a rowdy kid, they were just like, "Oh, you're a sweet boy." Like they never fucking tried to like, hit me with the ruler or whatever the fuck the Catholics do.
Yeah, they didn't do that. They didn't do much of that around us. Those were the expensive schools, the ones that had nuns. They're like, nuns?
Well, now these rulers have razor protractors in them. We can't risk injury.
You stole a book from the library, and then they take a hand. They keep it. Going Abrahamic on it. So for school, all your school was public and stuff like that? And
yeah.
Okay.
When I was a kid in elementary school, they did take us over to a Bible class to like watch little videos and do lessons, but I always saw it as a way to get out of class and not have to do homework. Oh man, fucking Jesus is awesome. I don't even have to do no math problems tonight. Hell yeah.
They're just like, we'll indoctrinate the children while they're young. That's what we'll do. And it's like,
hey,
dude,
it stuck with some of them.
It's like, I don't remember shit from that. It's like, do you remember your lesson from yesterday? What lesson? We went on a trip. Oh yeah, the apples. They were delicious.
Well, I went home and my mom made meatloaf.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was sad.
I'm glad your name's written on the board because I wouldn't even know your name, lady. I didn't know I was supposed to be paying attention this whole time.
One more thing that kind of hit home with me when I was, and technically I was feeling pretty atheist at the time. My senior year of high school, I was in sociology class, and the teacher said, I want all of the people that are for gay marriage to stand on one side of the room, ones who are against it to stay on the other side of the room, and neutral to pick their own spot. I was neutral. Listen to all these people, and they were just saying, there was one girl holding her case because she was like the one gay girl in class, and she was like in tears, like, why does my sexuality not grant me the right of marriage? And these people are just fucking drilling it. Or he's like, because it's against God. Like, and I just kind of sat there and I was like, well, I think your God's not real, and it's pretty ugly to think that people can't be in love with each other. Like,
yeah, I mean, for something
coming from a small town like this, like you go around town, it's Trump, cross, Trump, rebel flag, even though we don't live in the South for some reason, and Trump. Oh, and Jesus, and a church every corner. So, I mean, it's natural. A lot of people around here don't have the same mindset as folks like us do.
And you're in Indiana?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm in Chicago. I'm just over the border.
I mean, dude, it's probably maybe not in the city so much, but in like, like rural Illinois, it's probably pretty Jesus-y.
Yeah, like I'm outside of the city because I don't make $1 million a year. Neil doesn't pay me enough. I cannot afford to. It's fucking $2,500 for a fucking 2-bedroom apartment.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I don't have enough money for that place. But I'm out here in the suburbs. I'm about 50 miles out. It's yeah, you might as well, like, as soon as you get away from the big cities in the Midwest, it's all farm towns, and farmers might as well be Southerners as far as their politics.
They're trying.
Religious stance. Yeah,
they are trying.
They really believe that they're Southerners.
Some of them even wear cowboy hats and talk with Southern accents. Like, dude, you're from here. You're supposed to say, "Oh, not howdy, y'all."
There's a lake right there. There's all this trade. Right. It's like, dude, you live an hour from a speedway. Why do you have cowboy boots?
Where's your horse, bro? You're out of a Ford Ranger right now.
Yeah, how do you get your hat to fit in your Ram?
I must say, Texas is a mighty fine place. All right. See you there in about 6 months when you get there on your horse.
Right. That is one of the Midwest things that I don't think a lot of people think about is that there is all that space in between all the cities, and it's all country boys,
right?
With pickup trucks and hats and boots.
Oh, I'm here for it. I see it every day. And they're just like, they're having the same conversations that like the white-haired geriatric fucks are having. Like, can you believe it, man? I'll tell you what, this country's gone to hell.
They're like 18.
Right? Exactly. I can't believe the disrespect.
There's no dignity left.
Our forefathers would be rolling in their graves. I didn't know bones could roll individually, but you know.
Bloop. Oh, damn it, Neil.
Somebody was blooping in there. Hey.
There we go. All right, I did my good deed for the day.
All right.
Again, guys, those of you who just tuned in here, Skull Knight, welcome. Tons of Mice, welcome. Hellbound, well, you were already here. Regios, Ox, and Purple. Definitely head over to YFNA's channel. Check them out for a little bit. They got lots of great people on there supporting Recovering from Religion, which you guys have known has always been linked in my description box below. One more time, I'll post the link for donations. And if you can beat my $50 pledge, I will shake your hand somehow.
Already did it.
Nice. Virtual handshake.
Yeah, but you're going to get that back in a day or two anyways when I give you your $50 anyways, Mikey. So.
Right.
Oh, you two are a trip.
Well, we try.
Not the whole 50 though.
You guys are the whole 50. You guys are good people. I like you.
Thanks, Skylar. I appreciate that.
Thanks.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
There's been something in my straw, and I don't know how long there's been something in my straw, and I just killed this entire glass of water.
Oh, you found the booger I put in there, huh?
I don't even know what the hell that is.
He manifested a booger. There is a God.
I'm gonna go get some fresh water. I need
fair enough.
Water.
Well, my straw is like solid red, so I'll never know if there's a booger in my straw.
That's the mystery is the fun part.
Exactly. And look, I even made it back before an hour went by on the show, according to this ticker.
Right.
58:31, right? So
time flies.
But we are going to do an after party, guys. So if you're interested in jumping in here with Skylar, Mikey, and myself, and I'm sure that Kyle will want to be in here because, well, wait, you guys are in the same place.
Yeah, so he's like just in the other room.
How's that?
I'll just get on his phone.
No, you guys could both sit there and all right, cool, we can do that.
I mean, I'll just scoot over a little bit.
Dave, I found a booger.
Or I'll just be sitting over there.
No, wait, half a booger. Yeah.
Splitsies.
Yeah. All right, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to get into that after party. Skylar, thanks for jumping in with me today, and
absolutely,
and Mikey, and having
I will
sharing your story with us.
So do I leave the chat here? Just get back on in a few minutes for the after party.
Nope, I'll send you a brand new link because I have the after party set up different. Okay. We're going to take about a 15-odd minute break there, guys. So we should be getting going by about 6:30 at the latest. So we'll be able to do a bio break and refill your drinks, whatever you're drinking. Don't forget,
get a new straw.
Get a new straw. The hashtag coins drinking game will be on as usual.
All right.
Anyways, thanks everyone in the chat. You guys are amazing. Thank you for hanging out
with us.
Thanks
for having me, guys.
There are other channels you could be watching, so I do appreciate your coming here and checking it out. Also, thanks to my amazing patrons. You guys are really the meat and potatoes of the show. You're amazing. Big hearts to you guys and virtual hugs and all that. I couldn't do this without you, seriously. And Ox, I'm not that old. Jesus Christ. Gotta get my Geritol and prune juice, apparently.
Hey, prune juice is really good.
A warrior's drink, according to Worf.
Hey, man.
The Warriors
You
drink.
got to get those vowels out.
The Warriors drink.
So Ox, take that.
Dude, Worf is my favorite part of fucking Next Gen.
Oh,
his little not getting it things. Where he's like eating that nasty, disgusting, stinky egg thing. He's like, delicious.
Yeah. yeah. Elbow cough. All right, so that's what we're gonna do, guys. Once again, thanks, Skylar. Thank you, everybody. All the stuff that I'm involved with is now just linked in the description box below, so I don't have to ramble on about it and drive you guys crazy. But until next time, guys, like I always say at the end of these interviews, like the late, great Christopher Hitchens once said, it's called faith because it's not knowledge. And we'll see you guys next time.
Mic drop.